Hey Scorpio, this is Alexander Creek. I'm an astrologer and intuitive. Welcome to your 2022 August horoscope. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, because we have a lot to talk about. So, the beginning of the month is the most juicy, and it has like this really rare conjunction of Uranus, the Great Awakener, Mars, the planet of action and energy, and the North Node of Fate, all happening in your partnership sector. So, there's like shocking, awakening, maybe abrupt changes in your relationships and partnerships happening for you this month. So you've been having a lot of activity there. You're kind of the star of a lot of astrology this year because there are the nodes are in Taurus and Scorpio. So the North Node in Taurus in your seventh house throughout this year, really for like the next, I think, year and a half. I can't remember how long it's there exactly, but it's there for a while. So there's like new beginnings and new growth and direction happening for you in relationships, and it's time for you to sort of establish new relationships and kind of I feel like you've been going in a different direction with your approach to relationships and with the people in your life really all year, but really kind of feeling that this spring. And I also feel like you're making a lot of personal changes in your identity, maybe like letting some things go and really feeling some shifts and evolutions as far as how you approach the world. So, because the South Node is in your first house for the rest of the year as well. South Node is kind of where we break free from, let go. And thus, the eclipses this year are so eclipses are like supercharged new and full moons. They can kind of give you sort of faded kind of feeling events, and that can kind of correspond with eclipses, and really can kind of shock your system as well because they can feel a little bit more unpredictable than new and full moons, and they kind of speak to trends in your life happening over a period of time. So so you've been feeling those changes in your personal life, and like in your identity, your approach to life, your personal energy, and your relationships, especially since springtime, especially since we had two eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio. So there's like a faded new beginning situation happening in your relationship sector that I mentioned over July 31st and August 1st. It may not correspond with some external event, but it does feel like this peak of this energy of like sudden pivots and changes in your relationship. So it could be that you're in a developing relationship, it suddenly gets deeper and you're like, wow, this is not the person I thought I would ever be with. Or, it could be that you're ready to break something off because Uranus, that great awakener, is in your seventh, demanding that you have freedom, that you have, and I would say since 2018, Uranus has been in Taurus in your seventh house, creating disruption, creating a new need for freedom, or creating relationships, or influencing your relationship life by, having maybe sudden starts and stops in your relationships, or maybe what was good for you before is all of a sudden you've outgrown it and it's just time for new and exciting things in your relationship. So a lot of ups and downs in relationships, I feel like, since 2018, really getting going though in the past couple years. So this conjunction of this kind of faded U-turn kind of vibe is happening in that relationship sector around July 31st in August 1st. So this is definitely kind of a wild ride kind of energy. You are a fixed sign. Everyone knows Scorpio is a water sign, but Scorpio is also a fixed sign, and it likes things to kind of stay the same. It likes consistency, right? Scorpio likes intensity, but like its sister sign Taurus likes consistency. So this is definitely the opposite of that. It's like, well, wow, I'm like, it's kind of going on a ride of your life as far as relationships go. So that's happening the beginning of the month, really feeling that energy and really letting go. I would say let go and, let go of a need for control and just kind of like, because I'm a Scorpio rising myself. So I've been feeling this personally speaking. So anywho, so that energy is really lighting up your relationship sector at the beginning of the month. August 11th, Venus is going to enter Leo for the rest of the month. It's going to give you some, like a boost maybe in popularity in your career, being visible, being seen, being celebrated, because it's in Leo, just because it's in Leo, so being celebrated is important. But it's in your 10th house of career, of ambition, of public status. So I can see you really maybe shining in your career, being noticed. However, it is going to oppose Saturn. Saturn has been in your fourth house since late 2020. Saturn is this planet of discipline, delays, restriction, boundaries, commitment. So there's been a lot more commitment around family things, around your foundation in your home and establishing that. Maybe stepping up in your family, or maybe really feeling like you have to put down roots, or doing even ancestor work and like learning about your ancestral trauma and all that kind of stuff. A lot of family things, family roots, home. There's a lot of work being done there. That Saturn's going to wrap up there and it's going to leave March 2023. But my point being, Venus is in Leo. It's going to oppose Saturn. So there's like a heaviness, commitment feeling when it comes to work. Maybe being seen, but maybe not being seen, and like, enough or something like that. But there's this commitment type feeling coming from work, or maybe like a balance between work and family, or work in your internal, or like in your internal kind of home life. So Venus will be there for the rest of the month. So that should balance or that should bring some harmony, bring some, some pleasure to public life. But at the same time, there is a feeling of commitment. So the next day, August 12th, we have a really serious feeling full moon. Excuse me. Wow. So serious feeling full moon. So like a completion, a culmination, a illumination or spotlight or awareness or news in that, in actually your fourth house. So you could be completing some type of home and completing or culminating out some type of home and family thing around that time. It's funny because this is hitting my chart, and I noticed I'm literally moving. I'm moving that day, moving apartments, and it's a very big deal because my rent is like doubling because I'm going to live by myself. So this is a very this full moon is conjunct Saturn, which means you're taking on some kind of commitment. Or this energy just feels kind of heavy and burdensome, or it feels kind of serious, or it's something about like long lasting and for the future. There could be, you might have to be making compromises with this full moon as well. This full moon also feels a little impatient because it's going to make making a hard aspect, which means like a more difficult aspect to Mars and Saturn in Taurus. So there's just maybe some like relationship commitment stuff coming up as well. Or I just kind of get the feeling from this full moon of like, having to commit to something. It's hard work, it's serious, it's commitment, and then also maybe making a compromise in relationships or something like that. But there's just a little bit of feeling of impatience that I get from this full moon. On August 20th, Mars, the planet of action, energy, conflict, and heat, will enter Gemini. Or it's going to stay for 9 months. So Mars usually spends about 2 months in a given sign. And so all the babies that are born over the next 9 months will have Mars and Gemini. I cannot even imagine. So that's just funny to me. Mars is where Mars is transiting through your chart can be like where you're motivated to take action, and spend a lot of action energy, but also maybe have some conflict. Or that you're separating from or cutting things out of your life. So it's going to spend a lot of time for the next 9 months until about March in your 8th house of finances. And this is not your money that you earn necessarily. This isn't like a paycheck. This is like, this is income, but it's not directly like a paycheck to you. So this could be that you are trying to find different sources of money or just sources of income. This could be like reorganizing or going after like lines of credit cards, taxes, all those kinds of things. Those subjects are going to be more prominent over the next 8 months. And you could just be really spending a lot of time and energy on those things. This is also that you could also be seeking like, hey, I need like a loan, like I need financing, all these types of topics. This is also getting, let's say that you have a business and you need investors. 8th house is other people's resources, money, and backing. So this is like, you could be seeking out other like investor money or seed money or something like that. Or this could be conflict over like family inheritance money. It could be something like that as well. I will say the 8th house can also be like in your really intimate bonds as well. So it could just be like negotiating, let's say that you're in like a non-traditional relationship and you're like negotiating like, okay, well, you can sleep with other people if you want, but we have to have different boundaries or something like that. And the 8th house can also be like psychic, occult activity as well. So this could be psychic development, like taking, intuitive development classes or something along those lines. But it's more likely, I feel like, to be about your finances. So definitely feels like a financial type feeling energy, but I really feel like you're like motivated to figure out your finances basically with this energy in Gemini, or really looking at different income streams because Gemini is multiples. So we have a Uranus retrograde on the 24th. That's going to be for a few months. So around the 24th, you could probably feel the feeling of like, oh, like I'm reviewing and reflecting all the ways in which myself and my relationships have changed. And Uranus to kind of settle down, I think, for a little bit while it retrogrades. August 27th, we have a new moon in Gemini. So this is a new beginning or a reset or a new cycle. This is in your 11th house. So this is about you connecting with groups, clubs, networking, people with similar interests to you. This is also maybe taking a fresh look at your hopes, wishes, and goals for the future. Going back to the drawing board, like what do I want to manifest? And this is also, but this feels like a more social. This could be connecting with people online, connecting with people in real life, but it's like a networking kind of feeling new moon. So, but it's also, again, too, like connecting with like casual friends too, as well. So it's a very social feeling new moon to me. And it's a very energetic new moon because it's going to be making some aspects to Mars. So it does feel like it's very conversation, verbal, dialogue heavy, like blah, 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 and really communication forward. I would say there's more likely to be spicy communication around this time, so kind of watch your tongue. But it does feel very motivated to kind of go after its goals. So that feels pretty good, especially, I have no follow-up thought. So anyway, looks like a pretty exciting month. Like, comment, subscribe, and please please comment below if this information resonated for you, or you're like, just talk to me about kind of what you're feeling. I'm just excited to hear from you. I am launching a Patreon this month as well. So if you're looking for weekly astrological guidance for the week, like major aspects for the week. Also, I'm going to do 2 live streams a month on Patreon, one for the new moon, one for the full moon, where I can answer questions about your chart, talk about how it's directly affecting your birth chart, talk about the energy, learn astrology with me that way. And I'm also doing personalized monthly forecasts delivered to your inbox every month as well. So check it out if you're interested. The link is in the comment below. Again, thanks for your time, and I'll see you next month. Bye, guys.